2004 International 4300 DT466. Customer states, tried to start it one morning, didn't want to start, put charger on, got it started, battery started smelling like rotten eggs. Fed cattle, let it sit till the afternoon, go to start it again, same thing, battery was dead. I got the phone call come out, put the gauge on it, battery sitting about 10.5, somewhere in there. Put charger on, got it started, and it was off the charge. Alternator is really overcharging this thing. So got a new alternator coming in. It should be there in a little bit. And batteries are smoked, so we're gonna get new batteries for it. So as you can see, alternator right there, doesn't look all that bad. It's really easy to get to, real easy to get out, pretty standard. Pull off the belt, disconnect all your wires, real easy to do. And was it 4 bolts to hold this thing in, and it pops right out. But there's another part that is a little more difficult. This is a feed truck, so obviously that's dirty, and there is wires tied in to all kinds of crap in here. So I'm gonna have to really pay attention to get this out and make sure I get everything hooked up properly. So, like I said, this is a feed truck. So everything for the scale, everything that runs the stuff on the feed truck, all the electrical stuff on the feed box, really comes off the battery. It's tied in there, hardwired. They do got a junction box where everything kind of splits out of it. It's sitting right underneath the passenger seat in the cab. This is pretty standard. And it's also really standard to have everything dirty. I mean, this is a farm truck and a feed truck at that. So you're gonna have stuff in here. It is what it is, come to expect it. And I also want to say that it's taken me a couple of days to get the alternator. Just when this happened, when they called me, it is what it is. And they've been feeding with it. And you can say what you want about it. I kind of support their decision. They run it for an hour in the morning, hour at night. This isn't your daily driver. This isn't your mother's car. This isn't an over-the-road truck. This is a feed truck. I mean, it's kind of like if you had this problem on your beater that you drove around the farm or drove around the yard. You know, hey, you're not going to go bother the neighbors for something that you can kind of push through for a couple of days. Do you worry about frying modules and computers and frying electrical components? Yeah, you do. But I'm not really overly concerned with it with this. I mean, these batteries are thoroughly cooked. They're not good. They smell pretty bad when this thing was running. But it is what it is. They made it survive without having to go and get a loaner for a couple of days. So happy with that. Everything else seems to be working just as it should be. But I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of figuring out where these wires go, make sure I can keep them where they're supposed to be, take pictures of them, and we'll go from there. Alright, hopefully you guys can saw a little bit of what I did there. Speed it up a little bit so it's not so boring. But I got little multicolored tapes like this. When I'm rewiring something, I'll put a little piece on there so I can keep the wires separate. And I like to use that too in situations like this, where I can take, like the positive's got a bunch of stuff on there and they got things that are tied into each other and the wires are the same color. So if I can tape all that together and know exactly where it's supposed to go, my life is a lot easier. So nice little tip. But batteries are all undone. All I gotta do is yank them out of there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get that belt loose and start taking off that alternator. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you what I'm gonna do before I do it, because I'm not gonna be able to show you everything. But you can see my alternator. Underneath the alternator, you can see my tensioner. I'm gonna put a 1/2-inch ratchet in there, release the tension, pull off the belt. Then I'm gonna go behind the alternator. You can see I got that wire there, gotta pull off. And then there's one up here I gotta pull off. Nice and easy. And then those 4 15mm bolts. Here you are. That's our alternator. And that didn't take long, but the video that I'm gonna have to shorten up and figure out seemed like it took longer than it should have. Reason for that is I had to get a different size wrench because they weren't both same size on the back for the wires. I knew that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And I had to go switch it up and get a wobble socket, or get a wobbler for the socket so I get around that air cleaner. So not a big deal, pretty quick, pretty painless, pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead, throw this alternator in the pickup, grab those batteries out of there, and I'm gonna head to town. Will you say hi? You're just mad that I opened the door. You knocked your TV down, didn't you? There, life better now? Got animal cookies, milk, and movie. They can be happy again. Mama had a doctor's appointment today, so Daddy gets to take little man with him to work, and that's all well and good. He likes playing with tools, he likes turning wrenches. But he decided he liked eating snacks and watching a movie more than standing out in the cold, and boy, I kind of agree with him. But let's have ourselves a little trip. Alrighty, we got our brand new alternator picked up. And I mean brand new. Yeah, huh? Yeah, brand new, isn't it? Brand new. He was a good boy, so went and got him some nuggets. Now he's watching his movie, and we're gonna head to the house. I'm gonna get him ready for a nap, and then Mama will show up. Take the new alternator to the shop, and I'm gonna pull the pulley off the other one, put it on the new one, torque everything down, and then we'll head back and get everything thrown back on the feed truck and see where we're at. There, that was pretty simple. Got to use something to stop the movement of the pulley. For the sake of the video, I used a strap wrench. If you take it to a parts store, the parts store is going to lock it in a vise, which I have a vise here. I could have done that, but the vise is holding my camera. So this is kind of why I did it the way that I did it, just to show you guys. But dirt and everything else in there makes it a little tough to kind of get that pulley to budge to come out. So just got this little puller here. You see I just did it with my hand. I didn't put a wrench or anything on it before I did that. It just slipped right out of there. You just couldn't pull it straight off. But got everything on, got everything torqued up, everything's good to go. Checked everything out, verified numbers, looked at everything on the back. Sometimes they'll vary just a little bit, but everything is exactly the same. So I'm happy with that. But go ahead, toss it back in the pickup. I already got the batteries, they're ready to go. Then we'll head back over and get this thing shored up. We are back here at the feedlot. Got our alternator. I'm gonna go ahead, slip this thing in here. Let's get her buttoned back up, get everything put back together, and see what we're left with. There you go. That's pretty simple, isn't it? I'm gonna go ahead and flip you around here real quick. You can see, same as it was before. Got the belt on, got those wires on back there. There's 2 of them. Got my boot set now where it's supposed to be right there. Everything's nice and tight. So now we can go ahead and get the batteries put in. Okay, we got that all hooked up. Now let's see if she'll fire. And see what she reads after she fires. That all looks good. That looks right. That is much better. Good. Okay, I'm going to shut this off. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. It sounds like rocks being thrown against the side of a building. They got a guy here at the feedlot that is with a mega carrier, so to speak, hauling in pellets. And this outfit has a gravity bin that the pellets go in, but if there's too many pellets, then the pellets go onto the feed pad, and it is what it is. Kind of makes it a pain, but drivers manage. Well, this gentleman here is overfilling that, and there are pellets going all over the place, just loud. So the last few little snippets, if you saw me kind of jerk around and all that stuff, where you hear that loud noise, yeah, that's not the truck. I'm not doing anything dumb. It's that guy's got to be making a mess. So it is what it is. Not really my problem, but goodness, you still feel bad about it, right? But at any rate, we're calling this good. Battery's testing good. Alternator's testing good. It's not overcharging anymore. Everything is working like it's supposed to. Everything's running like it's supposed to. I'm happy with that. I checked everything with the scale and with the feed box. It's all good. All ready to go. She fired right up. Runs good. I'm happy with it. We're going to call it a fix. So for those of you guys that stuck around here till the end, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy taking you along with me. I love making these things. And I hope that you found it a little bit entertaining, maybe a little bit informative. And as always, I thank you guys for watching.